Hello and welcome to section 3, which is the organizations and people dimension of the problem management practice. In the exam of the 20 questions, 2 questions will be from this topic. These will be a mix of Bloom's level 2 and Bloom's level 3, meaning understanding and application questions. The role questions, if any, would be at the understanding level, and the organization structure questions, if any, will be at the application level. The exam syllabus is specifically to understand and apply the roles and competencies of the practice. There are, in particular, 2 specialist roles in this practice: the problem manager role and the problem coordinator role. And we will also see how to apply uh, the practice within the organization structure. This is introductory information, which is not part of the exam. And general information such as the practice guides on their own do not describe the practice management role, such as practice owner, practice leader, or practice coach, but they provide us guidance on the specialist roles. By those roles, we mean the problem manager and problem coordinator for this practice. And however, every organization may have their own roles defined with their own responsibilities. And therefore, the ITIL recommended specialist roles are just recommendations, or sometimes not even recommendations, and of course, not mandatory at all. And these roles are not job titles because a single job title, for example, a manager job title, could involve multiple roles. And also, in reality, one individual could take on multiple roles, and one role could be assigned to multiple people. And roles are most importantly described within the context of the processes being applied and the activities being performed. Now, here we see a competency code table. For the problem management practice exam, this table is not included. It is excluded from the exam. But if you're writing the bundled exam, meaning the monitor, support, and fulfill exam, which is a combination of the 5 practices, including problem management, then for that exam, this table is in scope, meaning this table is included within the exam syllabus. So therefore, it's better to understand what this table is about. ITIL has proposed 5 competency codes for the various IT service management roles. And any specific role can be defined based on a combination of some of these codes. So first, let us understand the different codes. The codes are 5, specifically L, A, C, M, and T. L is leader, A, administrator, C, coordinator or communicator, M, methods and techniques expert, T, technical expert. The leader, as you probably know, they make decisions, they delegate, they oversee others, they provide incentives, motivation, and evaluate outcomes or achievement of goals. Administrators, they assign tasks, they prioritize them, they keep records, they maintain records, perform ongoing reporting, for example, performance reporting, initiate basic improvements. C, coordinator communicators, they coordinate between multiple parties, maintain communications between stakeholders, and run awareness campaigns. M, methods and techniques experts, they design and implement work techniques, for example, Scrum or Kanban or whatever, document procedures, consult on processes, perform analysis of work being done, and perform continual improvement. The technical experts, as the name indicates, they provide technical expertise and conduct expertise-based assignments. And in this practice, we have 2 specialist roles. Those are the problem manager and the problem coordinator role. Now, these roles are generally, they occur in organizations where the number of problems is high. And otherwise, the activities of problem management will be coordinated by at least one individual or by a group of people who are responsible for the concerned configuration items, service, or product associated with the problem. So these can be the resource owner, for example, a CI owner, that is, or a service owner, or a product owner. So for the CIs, it'll be the CI owner or the resource owner. For the service owner. For a product, it'll be the product owner who will perform the problem management activities. And of course, they can delegate to others within their own circle of team members. which means that in all cases, the problem management responsibility has to be assigned to somebody or at least to a group of people. And if not, it will be done by individual, as I said here, the owner of the CI service or the product. And once again, just to mention a key point, these roles generally occur in organizations where the number of problems are very high. Now, we are in the problem manager role. Before we go into this, we need to first of all acknowledge that problem management is a game changer. It's a change catalyst in the organization. It's not a technical set of tasks. It's a business focused set of tasks. And therefore, somebody who has certain drive, who can influence the leadership, who will initiate problem management. And after it's been running for some time, then it can become an administrative or a regular type of work. And whoever is driving it will require a lot of soft skills. So, for example, somebody who is a potential problem manager or even problem coordinator, who will initially put the focus and get the management attention, they will need to have a lot of drive, energy, and soft skills. So now with that understanding, let's go into the problem manager role. This role requires a good knowledge of the organization's products, such as architecture, configurations, interdependencies between the components and even products, with solid analytical and leadership skills, which means the ability and authority to coordinate teamwork and provide good risk management. That's a key skill, risk management. Because for proactive problem management, as you know by now, it's about understanding the vulnerabilities. So they should be able to guide the specialist practitioners, the technical experts, process experts, etc., the contract experts, to think about risks in the work being done, both reactively and proactively. And the responsibility here mainly to manage and coordinate the specialist activities in the problem management processes, those 4 processes that we have seen earlier. So, such as they will conduct and coordinate problem registration based on the submitted information. Note these words carefully for the exam. Conduct the registration of problems. Then initial categorization of the problems, the initial one only, because afterwards the specialist will come in and do the final classification when they investigate in the problem control phase or in the problem control process as well. Then problem manager, they coordinate the problem investigation and solution implementation control, meaning they will have to coordinate between the different experts who are involved in the investigation and the error control phase for the solution and its implementation. Then they will also coordinate the communication with the teams responsible for incident resolution and the change implementation. So they are like a center point coordinating between problem management, incident management, and change enablement. And then they will also develop and communicate the problem models where appropriate and applicable. So they should be the one who should be driving the problem model descriptions and improvements, of course, with support from others. And they will also coordinate the known error monitoring and review for the once the solution has been implemented or a workaround has been implemented. They will ensure that the monitoring is going on until it is confirmed that the problem has been resolved, or at least attained an acceptable level of risk before it can be closed. And the last point here, the problem manager also performs the formal problem closure. Of course, they can involve the specialist as well, but this is one of their key responsibilities. And the problem coordinator, if it's a big complex organizations, the problem manager may delegate some of the activities to the problem coordinator, one or more of them. And they will mainly focus on routine problem management activities such as reviewing submitted information about possible problems, meaning proactive information submitted, perform problem review activities, perform problem closure activity as well. So that's how it'll be done by them. And apart from that, so there has to be a good involvement of the problem manager and the problem coordinator in these activities. Then here we are with the organization structure and teams. And the first point here, a key point, is a dedicated structure for the practice is very rare. But if the organizations are bureaucratic and complex, and they have a significant number of problems, high volume of problems to manage, then they will most likely go for a dedicated structure for the practice. And many organizations prefer temporary teams to investigate high impact problems and to develop solutions. So note these points very carefully for the exam. If it's a product focused organization, then it's different. Then the problem management job titles and roles, such as the problem manager and problem coordinator, will not be adopted. But this practice will be integrated in the day-to-day activities of the product development and management teams. So all the members of the product team will be performing problem management activities rather than only the problem manager and problem coordinator who will be existing in non-product or non-service focused organizations. Particularly the product focus, because when we use the term product focus, then it goes to agile ways of working, where we have an agile coach, a product owner, we have developers who will be participating in the product lifecycle from the beginning until the end. So they would typically know how to manage, develop and manage and maintain their own product rather than having specific roles within their own product team. Because every developer is supposed to perform all required roles. So therefore, they are known as cross-functional teams, self-reliant, and rarely going outside their product team to get other help, technical help. So these are some key points here. And the last point here is that it's a cross-functional collaborative practice of problem management. Therefore, all the technical or support teams should participate and collaborate for effective problem management. And this is therefore the problem manager will have to play a key role in bringing people together to perform effective and efficient problem management. So in summary, dedicated teams for problem management happen only in large, complex organizations with a large volume of problems. And in all cases, the problem responsibility will be either given to individuals such as a problem manager or a coordinator. But we have seen that in product focused, then it'll be the product teams themselves who will perform them. There is no dedicated role assigned to like a problem manager or a coordinator, because all the team members of a product team will be problem managers or problem coordinators. So watch out for these understanding to be clear to you. So let's move on further. Now, one more thing, the problem coordinator, as part of their activities, they can even create problems, like raise problems, and they can even escalate problems for the problem manager to register. Now, further on the organization structures and teams, if there is a specific individual or team fully dedicated to problem management, then they will have to lead the problem management activities and involve other teams in the practice. So, for example, if there's a problem manager appointment and one or two problem coordinator appointments, or if there is even a problem management team, a group of people, then they will have to lead the practice and involve other teams, functions, technical groups as required for different problems. Unlike product teams where a single product team will own all the problems of that team, of their product, without any dedicated roles within the product team, such as a problem manager or a problem coordinator. And problem management as a practice, we know that it relies on information from and participation of all teams within the service provider, and also information coming from suppliers and customers for both reactive and proactive problem identification and problem control and error control. Now, another thing that may be performed by a dedicated problem manager is very interesting. The problem manager can organize a swarm. You already know swarming. We learned about that in section 1, key concepts, wherein a temporary team is created at a short notice to investigate a problem, usually for major problems or problems that need immediate attention and which are on a larger scale.